All right, so get ready because today we are taking a deep dive into the power of attitude
Oh, yeah.
and how it can shape our lives.
It can.
We're using the life and work of Anton Chekhov as our guide, and man, his story is really something else.
It's a fascinating one, for
Mhm.
sure. Um, what makes it so interesting for this deep dive is we're really going beyond just positive thinking. You know,
Right.
we're looking at how our attitudes often formed, early on,
hmm
really create a lens through which we view the world.
Yeah,
And that lens, as we'll see with Chekhov, can either really limit us or it can set us free.
it's true. And for this deep dive, we are drawing our insights from excerpts of a book
Yeah,
that looks at Chekhov's life and work through this lens of attitude.
I see.
And I gotta tell you, some parts of it almost read like a psychological thriller,
Oh, wow.
especially when we get into Chekhov's childhood.
Oh, boy.
All right, so picture this. Growing up in Taganrog, Russia,
There.
with a father who was very much a believer in tough love.
Cuff love.
Yeah.
What are we talking here?
Well, let's just say discipline was a regular part of life.
Ah, okay. So not the most nurturing environment.
Not exactly. And on top of that, Chekhov had to work long hours in the family's grocery store.
A grocery store.
Yeah, but not a nice warm one.
Oh, no.
This one was freezing cold.
Oh, man.
And, if that wasn't enough, he was surrounded by all this hypocrisy
Literally.
from the townspeople,
Mm-hmm.
and that just fueled his cynicism even more.
It's no wonder he developed what the book calls a constricted attitude,
Yeah, it sounds like he felt totally trapped.
like a prison of his own making.
Exactly. But here's where things take a really unexpected turn.
Okay.
At 16, Chekhov's father goes bankrupt
Oh, wow.
and flees to Moscow, leaving him behind.
Oh, no. He just left him.
Yeah, to fend for himself. You'd think being abandoned like that would just make that negativity even worse.
You would think so, right?
But something really remarkable happens.
Okay, I'm listening.
So his circumstances, they don't magically improve or anything,
Hmm.
but his attitude towards them changes.
That is interesting.
He starts tutoring students,
Wow.
starts supporting himself,
Good for him.
and even finds humor in the people around him.
That's incredible.
Mm.
It really makes you think,
Yeah.
do we get so caught up in trying to change our external circumstances that we forget about the power of changing our internal landscape?
That is a really good question. I know I've been guilty of that myself.
Right.
But back to Chekhov.
Okay.
So he's making the best of this difficult situation.
Right.
And then he does something even more surprising.
What's that?
He starts analyzing his father.
His father, the one who abandoned him.
Yep. But not as this tyrant,
Okay.
He starts to see him as a character.
Interesting.
He dives into his father's past all the way back to his grandfather, who was a serf.
Wow. So he's going way back.
Yeah. And through this process of understanding, something really powerful happens.
What happened?
He's able to forgive his father.
Wow.
He realizes that his father's behavior, it wasn't about him. It was a product of his own difficult upbringing and this generational trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder,
Yeah.
are we holding on to any grudges?
Yeah.
Could understanding the other person's story, even just a little bit, help us let go?
It's amazing how powerful understanding can be.
I know, right?
But Chekhov didn't stop there.
He didn't.
This newfound generosity,
Yeah.
it extended to his whole family.
Oh, that's nice.
He became the glue that held them together,
Really?
taking care of the household, encouraging his siblings,
Mhm.
and even helping his father find a better job.
Wow, what a transformation.
He went from the beaten child to Papa Antosha, the leader of the family.
That's incredible. And his attitude, it didn't just affect him.
Oh, no.
It lifted his entire family.
Yeah, his story is a powerful example of how one person's attitude can impact a whole group.
It really is.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, life has its ups and downs, even for someone like Chekhov.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He achieved literary fame,
Mm-hmm.
which, as we know, can be a double-edged sword.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Not all glitz and glamour, right?
Not at all. The book talks about the envy he faced from other writers.
Yeah, I bet.
The nasty literary feuds.
Oh, those are the worst.
And then on top of all that, he gets diagnosed with tuberculosis.
Oh, wow. Talk about a major setback.
It really makes you think, how do you maintain an expansive attitude when you're dealing with so much adversity?
That is the question.
Yeah.
And that's where Chekhov's story takes another fascinating turn.
Go on.
He decides to travel to Sakhalin Island.
Sakhalin Island. Where's that?
Well, if you're not familiar, it was a notoriously brutal Russian prison colony.
Oh, wow. That's not exactly a vacation spot.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
What do you make of his decision to go to such a harsh and unforgiving place?
That's a tough one. Was he trying to reconnect with his own difficult past?
Maybe? Or was it something else entirely?
Yeah. I'm really curious to hear your take on this.
Well, on the one hand, it seems courageous, like he's
Yeah.
deliberately confronting the darkness.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, could it be seen as a form of escape?
Like running away from his problems and the pressure of fame.
Exactly. It seems like there could be multiple interpretations here.
I think you're right.
So what do we make of it?
It's a complex decision, that's for sure. And I think both interpretations could be valid.
Okay, let's unpack that a bit more after a quick break.
Yeah, it's definitely complex.
What?
On the one hand, witnessing the suffering of the prisoners and their families, I think that allowed Chekhov to kind of tap back into that empathy he discovered back in Taganrog.
Yeah, I can see that.
It was almost like a reset button,
Right.
reminding him about human connection and compassion.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, you could also say that he was seeking solace in a place where his own problems seemed small.
Yeah, compared to the immense hardship he was seeing all around him.
Exactly.
It's interesting, though. It really shows that even someone like Chekhov, who seemed to have mastered this positive attitude,
Right.
he still struggled with his own internal conflicts.
Of course we all do.
And the complexities of being human.
Right? It's not like we have to be perfect to embrace an expansive attitude.
It's a journey, not a destination.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Speaking of journeys,
Okay.
the book takes us on a pretty fascinating one through this whole landscape of attitudes.
Oh, yeah.
It draws upon William James's ideas about how our attitudes literally shape our realities.
It's not just about positive thinking, then.
No, it's much bigger than that.
Yeah.
It's about understanding how our mindset influences our experiences and our relationships.
I mean, have you ever noticed how two people can go through the exact same event
Yeah.
and have totally different reactions?
Oh, absolutely. All the time.
It's like that saying, life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it.
Right. And this book really breaks down these reactions
It does.
into 5 constricted attitudes
Okay.
that can really mess things up in our lives.
Oh, wow. The descriptions are so accurate, it's kind of scary.
It's like they were reading our minds. Let's start with the hostile attitude.
Okay, the hostile attitude.
These are the people who see the world as a battlefield.
The battlefield.
Yeah, they think everyone is out to get them.
Oh, gosh.
And you know what? They often end up creating that hostility themselves.
Makes sense. Do you know anyone like that?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Always got to be in a fight.
Mm-hmm.
Always blaming everyone else.
Ugh, it's exhausting.
I know. The book gave this great example of a husband who's always accusing his wife of not loving him,
Oh, no.
twisting everything she says and does.
She's fit his narrative.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like they need an enemy to feel good about themselves.
Wow. Okay, so that's the hostile attitude. What's next?
So let's talk about the anxious attitude.
Okay, anxious.
These folks are ruled by fear and the need for control,
I see.
often to the point of pushing people away.
Oh, wow.
They build up these walls to protect themselves,
Right.
But those walls become their prison.
It's like they're trying to hold on to sand.
Exactly.
Mm.
The harder you grip, the more it slips away.
Right. Does the book give an example of this one?
It does. It talks about Franklin D. Roosevelt's mother, Sarah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
After he was diagnosed with polio, she became super overprotective.
Trying to keep him sheltered.
Yeah, it seemed like love, but it really came from her own anxieties and her need to control him.
It's a good reminder that even good intentions can be driven by fear.
So true.
Yeah.
And then there's the avoidant attitude.
The avoidant, what's that one like?
These are the masters of escape.
Escape from.
Anything that might make them uncomfortable.
Oh, okay.
They avoid responsibility, challenging situations.
Anything that might make them question their self-worth.
Exactly. They're always stuck in this what-if loop.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Always imagining the worst-case scenario.
And using that to justify doing nothing.
Have you ever done that?
Oh, of course. I think we all have at some point.
Yeah, those moments where fear holds us back.
From taking risks?
From going after our dream.
Exactly. It's that voice that says, what if I fail? Or what if I'm not good enough?
The book said that people with this attitude often have a checkered career.
Oh, really?
And a history of short-term relationships.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
They're not big on commitment or vulnerability.
Right. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Sadly, it is. They avoid risks because they're scared of failing.
Yeah.
And then their lack of experience just makes them more insecure and avoidant.
It's a vicious cycle.
It really is.
Oh,
So you ready for another one?
late on me.
This one's called the depressive attitude.
Okay, depressive.
These are the folks who carry around this heavy sense of unworthiness.
Unworthiness.
Yeah, often stemming from early experiences of neglect or lack of validation.
That's sad.
It is. They anticipate sadness and loss.
And they kind of gravitate toward the gloomy aspects of life.
Right, like they're trying to confirm their negative worldview.
It's heartbreaking because they're often really sensitive and compassionate people.
Oh, no.
Which draws people to them.
But then they push those same people away.
With their negativity and self-criticism.
Exactly. The book gives the example of Hans von Bülow.
Who's that?
He was a composer,
Okay.
and he was constantly putting himself down.
Uh,
He withdrew from his wife,
Where-
and he even seemed to unconsciously encourage her affair with Richard Wagner.
wow. That's intense.
It shows how self-sabotage can really damage relationships.
Okay, so we've got hostile, anxious, avoidant, depressive. What's the last one?
Last but not least, the resentful attitude.
Resentful.
These are the people who always feel like they're getting the short end of the stick.
They're never satisfied.
Nope. Always comparing themselves to others
Feeling slighted.
and holding on to grudges forever.
Do you know anyone like that?
Oh yeah, I think we all do. Always complaining, always feeling wronged.
It can be contagious.
Oh, it is. The book actually uses Emperor Tiberius as an example.
Tiberius. Yeah, okay.
He was super resentful his whole life.
What happened?
He always felt unappreciated and disrespected.
And when he gained power.
Watch out. He took revenge on anyone he thought had wronged him.
Seriously.
Yeah, he even wished for the world to be destroyed after his death.
Talk about holding a grudge.
Right. Tiberius is an extreme example, but we see these resentful attitudes everywhere.
Oh, yeah, they're the chronic complainers.
They drain the joy out of everything.
Literally suck the life out of the room.
So there you have it. The 5 horsemen of the constricted attitude apocalypse.
Wow, heavy stuff, but really insightful.
Just recognizing these patterns in ourselves and others is a
Yeah.
huge step.
Toward breaking free.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now let's shift gears.
Okay.
Let's talk about the antidote. The expansive attitude.
I like the sound of that. What is it?
It's like opening the windows and letting the sun shine in.
I love that.
It's about being curious, embracing uncertainty, seeing challenges as opportunities.
Have you ever met someone who just radiates joy,
Oh, yeah.
even when things are tough?
What do you think makes them different?
It's like their whole perspective is different.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
They see the world as this place full of possibility,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not afraid to step outside their comfort zone.
It's like they still have that childlike sense of wonder, you know?
The one most of us lose as we get older.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this book gives us some really practical advice on how to cultivate this expansive attitude.
Well, that's good.
One key principle is to view the world like an explorer,
An explorer, okay.
constantly seeking new experiences, challenging your own beliefs.
What about you? Have you done anything that's really pushed you outside your comfort zone?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Mm.
One thing that comes to mind is learning a new language.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
It was tough, but it opened up this whole new world for me.
A whole new world of culture and connection.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think travel can have that same effect.
Even just to a different part of your city?
Even that.
Yeah.
Just seeing things from a new perspective.
I like that. The book also talks about the importance of peak experiences.
Oh, yeah. Those are powerful.
What are those exactly?
Those moments where you feel truly alive.
Alive.
Like you're connected to something bigger than yourself.
Okay, I get
It
that.
could be watching a sunset or achieving a goal.
Anything that really shifts your perspective.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It reminds you what's truly important.
Like Chekhov's journey to Sakhalin Island.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It wasn't exactly a fun trip, but it woke him up
Got him out of his comfort zone.
and reconnected him with his purpose.
Mm.
Speaking of purpose,
Mm-hmm.
the book also talks about having a strong sense of self-belief.
Self-belief.
Well, it's about knowing your potential and not letting those limiting beliefs hold you back.
Did they have any examples of this?
Oh, yeah, they talk about Joan Crawford.
The actress.
Yeah, after being typecast in Westerns,
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
she decided to master the genre.
What? To prove everyone wrong?
To prove them wrong and to expand her own skills.
Wow, that's a great example of turning adversity into an opportunity.
It really is. It reminds me of Malcolm X.
Oh, yeah, how so?
He used his time in prison to educate himself and become a powerful speaker and activist.
Wow. It shows that even in the toughest situations, we have a choice.
A choice in how we respond.
That's powerful. And what about our energy and health? Does the book touch on that?
It does. It challenges us to shift our focus from limitations to possibilities.
Okay, I'm listening.
Instead of just accepting age or illness as inevitable decline,
Right.
we can cultivate this belief in our capacity for resilience and renewal.
So like not giving up hope?
Not at all.
Yeah.
Have you ever noticed how some people just seem to defy the odds?
You mean like they stay vibrant and enthusiastic even as they get older?
Exactly.
Yeah.
What do you think their secret is?
I think it's all about mindset.
Mindset.
They don't see themselves as victims.
Of circumstance.
They believe they can heal and adapt and keep growing.
It's a growth mindset.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The book also talks about how we view other people.
Ah, yes. That's a big one.
Instead of taking everything personally or judging everyone.
We should try to see people as facts of nature,
Facts of nature.
with all their quirks and complexities.
That's interesting. What do you think about that?
I think it makes sense. It's about recognizing that everyone's on their own journey.
Shaped by their own unique experiences.
Right. It doesn't mean we have to condone bad behavior.
But it allows us to be more understanding.
More compassionate.
Choosing generosity over judgment.
Exactly. And you know what? The book connects this expansive attitude to the idea of the soul.
The soul, really.
Yeah. It says that people who embrace life's richness and complexity are filled with the life force.
While those who try to control and limit their experiences become soulless.
Powerful imagery, right?
It is. So where does this leave us, listener? How do we cultivate this expansive attitude?
Well, it all starts with awareness. Pay attention to your thoughts and reactions.
Notice those negative patterns.
Well, fear, judgment.
Ask yourself, is this my best self-talking?
Or am I letting my fears win?
And once you're aware of those patterns,
You can start to challenge them.
don't avoid discomfort,
Lean into it. Seek out those experiences that push you out of your comfort zone.
even if they're a little scary.
Remember, growth happens on the other side of fear.
And don't forget about the people around you.
Who are the people who radiate that expansive energy?
The joy, the curiosity, the generosity.
Spend time with them. Let their enthusiasm be contagious.
So it's like an attitude transplant.
It could be. Remember, cultivating an expansive attitude is a lifelong journey.
It is worth it.
It's about embracing the messiness of life with an open heart and a curious mind.
And who knows what you might discover along the way. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the power of attitude.
And until next time, keep exploring.